but now I've stopped soft partnering.
Stunning. Yeah.
The definition of soft partnering should be hide who you really are from your partner and manipulate them into thinking that you're a different person. Hello everyone and welcome back to Chisme Corner. My name is Karen and today we are going to be covering the latest episode of 90 Day Fiancé the Other Way. Corona and Ingi are off to a flea market, and as the outfit of the day, she chooses a leather bodysuit that has openings from head to toes.
All right.
I'm all up for people wearing whatever they want, but who in the world decides to wear a bodysuit that is open everywhere to a flea market?
All right, that's your reaction, but...
Yeah. I said stunning.
Of course, she gets mad at Inky because he didn't have, a lovely reaction like, oh my God, you're so gorgeous. Oh my God, you're the best. You're so beautiful. That outfit looks amazing on you. He still gave you a compliment. And maybe it wasn't necessarily what you wanted him to say, but it was still a compliment. And you pushing back on that, next time he's not gonna wanna give you a compliment. And then on her confessional, she says that since she has stopped self-partnering, she doesn't want to be a mean girlfriend and it's just difficult for her. But weren't you just saying last episode that you're not going to stop with the soft partnering because you don't want to scare him?
I mean, I'm learning, babe.
It seems like Inky is either not comfortable being on camera or not comfortable being around Corona. Because anytime that she'll ask him a question, he always has this response like, all right, okay, all right. Like, what does all right mean?
Yeah.
I think I would also get frustrated if my partner, when I ask him a question, his answer is all right, 24/7. Like, they arrive at the flea market to finalize her initiation process, and Ingi is inviting her to try fermented shark, and she is super grossed out by it.
I'll take a full bite.
I personally don't like when people react like this to different foods. I find it disrespectful. So I don't like to see reactions like that. Like, if you don't like something, I get it, I understand. But her reactions seem to be so exaggerated to the point that they don't even seem genuine. And I think that's where I have a problem. And then pretend to throw up. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about them. Would you guys be open to trying fermented shark? I did read some comments on like Reddit and other socials that fermented shark is actually pretty gross. So I would love to hear what you guys think about that. You guys did convince me to want to try turtle soup in the future. A lot of you said that it tastes like chicken. So that's something that I will do. I love trying new food. That is part of my goals in life, to try every single food possible. Now, it turns out that tomorrow Corona is going to be meeting Ingi's parents, and he's trying to give her a rundown on his parents' personality. And Ingi says that his dad was born in 1940, so he's a little bit more on the conservative side.
And he's also super funny. Like, they're awesome. They're just caring and loving.
And she's also on the humorous side. I was definitely expecting more of an explanation of who his parents are, but he didn't do that. And, he gave little to no information.
I don't know how to word this, but like, do they know Black people?
I personally understand her concern, but you guys have shared many times that there is Black people in Iceland, and not only that, but Ingi also shared in his interview that production asked them to exaggerate the race topic. So it is a little bit weird that they continue to bring it up.
The worst case scenario, they're like, yo, no, I don't want Black grandbabies and I don't like her.
But Ingi doesn't think so. He assures her that it's not going to be a problem. Let's say that his parents are not racist, right? Let's say that they are lovely and they don't have any problem with Black people. There's still things that you can do to make Black people uncomfortable. And we are gonna get to see that in the next episode, because Enki's mom touches Corona's hair. It is not an object. It is not a treasure. It's not something that you can just go around and touch just simply because you haven't seen it in your life. Now, she also brings up another concern, which is her clothing. She is afraid that they're going to judge her for what she's wearing.
That's only just clothes. It's not who you are.
You can wear whatever you want. You can walk around with whatever type of clothing you choose to wear, but you cannot control other people's emotions and perspectives on what you are wearing.
I said, hold up, wait a minute.
And before anyone says anything, I am not saying that it is your fault if you are wearing something inappropriate. Okay, so do not put words in my mouth. I just want to make it clear.
One of my biggest fears with meeting these parents is that they're not going to accept me.
Like, imagine that this is the first time you bring someone to your parents' home and your parents hate them. Like, this is the first time. I wanted to give a special thanks to my good friend Nikki, because I was having a really hard time gathering my thoughts in regards to who Corona is and who she has been through this season. I had a conversation with her about how Corona is too smart to be playing stupid. She knows what she's doing and she knows how she's presenting herself. She likes to get reactions out of people, you know, all her outfits, the way that she reacts to certain things, the way that she treats Ingi, her telling him, you know, I'm soft partnering you, and then all of a sudden showing him a completely different person. Like, for you to be so calculated to the point that you present yourself as this, you know, super sweet, gentle person that doesn't pop off, and then out of nowhere, you're just like, you know what? That's not me. I've been lying to you the entire time. So that is all we got for Corona and Ingi. And now we are going to be moving on to James and Tata. These two just give me a headache every single time. Last episode, we saw Tata ask for forgiveness over and over again while kissing her mother's feet. Thanks to a Redditor, we found out that she did it because heaven lies in your mother's feet. And that's why she did what she did.
We need to say sorry to our mom because heaven is under your mom feet.
James is still incredibly confused, but he gets down and tries to comfort her while sharing that he understands his decisions have affected the way that she feels. And I want you guys to remember that.
All I know is, for some reason, I am definitely adding to her stress.
No shit, James. You still have not learned the language after 5 years. You moved here with no plans. You're slowly breaking every single promise that you have made her family. Like, what are you expecting?
Itu kalau udah sama mama, sama suami, yang penting berumah tangga saling.
I understand why Dad asked Tata to ask for forgiveness, but I also hope that James is also going to apologize to her for his lack of responsibility. I did not agree with the way that Tata was speaking to James, but I also did not agree with how James was speaking to Tata and how he didn't even apologize.
You're perfect to me. For me.
Sorry.
Come.
She goes over to him and James is like, "Oh, Tata, you don't have to apologize. You're perfect. There's no reason to do this." Sir? Yes, there is. She also goes up to her dad and asks him for forgiveness, and Dad tells her that he really, really cares for her and that is his responsibility to take care of his children. And that also means that with prayers and some money, he's going to fix their problems.
Wong tua keperada dengan doa, dengan segala macam. Okay.
Berarti tertutup utang 200.
I told you guys on my last video that I don't like Tata's dad stepping in to help them. I want them to figure this out themselves. These two have made so many bad decisions that I think it's just better for them to figure this out on their own. I personally dislike a lot when, for example, my mom enables my family members to do certain things because my mom is very generous and my mom can sometimes be taken advantage of because of how nice she is.
Gembira. Oh, nanti punya anak sehat.
Oh, fuck!
I know right now it's not the time, but Dad and Mom are still under the impression that they will be having grandchildren. And I find it so selfish that they can't just be open and honest with them. There's also this moment where Dad starts a prayer with James, where James says that he would love to have a conversation later on with.
I'm hoping to get a little bit of clarity from her when we are alone.
James feels horrible because, you know, he still doesn't know what happened. And then when James asks Tata, Tata shares that she cried because she had to translate everything, and the way that James was talking to her just set her off.
But then you wanted me to be the one to have the conversation.
No! You, James, let's not forget that we also got here because of your poor decision making. Tata says that she's the one that started the conversation, and while she did, James was the one speaking while you were translating.
It's about you, not give me a break to talk, to think, to translate double.
I know I have already mentioned this in the past, but Tata's emotions seem so manipulative. Like, it seems like she thinks that every time she's gonna start crying or acting a specific type of way, that everyone's just gonna run to her rescue and they're just gonna forget about what she said and did. Again, this could have been prevented if you two just talk to your parents before moving here, but neither of you have the balls to have conversations like that.
Make me sad that he's not apologizing about the way he treated me.
Earlier, I mentioned that I didn't understand why James didn't apologize to Tata. And if he would have just done it, I don't think we will be in this situation, because it seems like Tata is more upset about him not apologizing than what actually happened.
I don't want them to help us
I
with
know,
that.
I did tell them.
I wanted to confirm if Tata actually told her parents that James didn't want them paying for the debt. And she didn't. I went back on the episode and I watched that part and I played it twice just to make sure that I wasn't missing anything. And she never told them that James didn't want them paying for the car. She said, I don't want you guys to take care of our burdens. Things get lost in translation.
I thought you just didn't want to talk about it. I thought you were trying to get me to say what it was.
As if James couldn't be any more stupid, he is under the impression that Tata did this on purpose, that she stayed quiet because she was trying to make him talk. I don't think that is true. Tata did seem stressed in that situation.
Kita nggak apa. What did you say?
Tata got lost in translation. It's like one of those moments where you're just like translating back and forth. Like, this has happened to me, where I'll be translating between my mom and someone else, and because I'm trying to keep up with everything they're saying, I'll get stuck, and then I have to like think back to what they said, and I'm just like thinking and thinking and thinking, and that's exactly what happened.
To not know what's going on, and then for you to get mad at me.
Tata got stuck. James couldn't wait. And I mean, you also haven't learned the language in 5 years. What have you been doing? You have had 5 years to do a lot of the work that her parents asked you to do, and you have been refusing to do so.
You pushing me for...
I didn't push you.
You did.
And that's just a lie, okay? 2 episodes ago, you told James that it was time to have this conversation. He wanted to wait for selfish reasons, but he did make it clear that you had to carry the conversation. You knew what this conversation was about, so you didn't have to translate word for word. You could have just said things yourself.
I did that.
I am a cusser, okay? I enjoy so much. But when you do it to your partner and then you follow it up with, I can't take criticism, so I'm going to go sleep with my parents, that's not healthy. James then tells her that he is not going to continue talking to her if this is the way that she's gonna talk to him.
That's really to say.
So it's okay for you to do it, but it's not okay for her to do it. Like, you guys are just not making sense, and you guys make me so frustrated.
If you think abandoning your husband in another country is a good idea.
Tata, is this why we came here? We came here so that every time you have a problem with James, you just run to your parents. You're a grown-ass woman. Fix your marital issues right here with your husband. They continue to argue, and this is when James says that this is one of the things that he didn't want when moving here. He thinks being here is affecting their marriage, so maybe they should go back to the States.
I would say we need to go back to the US.
Sir, this is not because of where you live. It is because you guys don't know how to communicate with one another. Now we're moving on to Joanne and Sean. Joanne is getting ready to go to Ireland to meet her lovely husband, and her mom is on the way to go to her house because she needs to watch her cats while she's gone.
30. What time did you say for the can?
5:30.
5:30.
Yeah, but that's
treats.
easy.
Give me a piece of paper, write it down.
This cat is getting better care than me. She also gives her mom this thing that she has to put on his mouth for him to have this like shiny, beautiful coat. This cat is beautiful.
I'm your mama, and he should have came to see your mama. And I don't care how old you are.
I don't necessarily agree with mom that Sean has to come all the way over here to meet her. Like, I do feel like she could go over there, but I see why she's frustrated because she might also be a little bit more old school, you know, to show respect to your parents. You must show them who you are dating. As a man, you will go up to the parents to tell them that you're gonna marry this girl or that you want to be in a relationship with them. Like I think that's the respectful thing to do, but at the same time, I don't think it was necessary for them to do that. Like, she is a grown-up woman. She does not need to do that.
You're not Queen Elizabeth. Just, it's okay.
Mom then tells her that this is not the only concern that she has, and there's many questions that she wants to ask her. So she's like, let's do it now. Let's do it now, right?
But I feel Joanne has been very private about her relationship with Sean.
Oh, Mom, if you just knew the secret that your daughter has been keeping from you.
Do you want to keep it just like this, just going back and forth to Ireland?
Why are you involving my grandchildren?
We'll be, well, we're married.
You knew this?
No.
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 No. No. No.
Did you guys see that? Mom was about to rip Auntie a new one. 2, 3. Mom is telling her, who in the world marries someone that doesn't know anybody?
I know him.
No, you don't, Joanne.
You do not know this man. You might think you do, but you have not spent enough time with him to fully know him. I think that for the first years of your marriage, you're still getting to know the person that you marry. And I also think it's incredibly selfish of you to have made such a big decision without communicating with your children. Mom is not letting her get any words in. She's just like, why you do this? Why would you do this? What are you thinking? I'm your mom. She's your aunt. What were you doing? What were you thinking?
No. People elope all the time.
People elope when they're already in a relationship. People elope while also telling their parents. People elope and then come and tell their parents. You have 2 children. You don't fully know this man. Okay, you marry him out of a whim. You didn't tell anyone. It's been 2 years and you still haven't told your family.
We didn't want anybody else's opinions, negativity, drama.
I know that you did this for yourself, Joanne. We are well aware of this. You are acting like you're a single lady on a vacation with 0 responsibilities, when you are a full-on mom with 2 teenagers. Pretty much giving me like those teenagers from Unexpected that have to tell their parents that they're having a child at 16. That's what I'm getting from this.
Does your sons know this?
No.
Are they gonna know?
Yeah.
How come you haven't said anything? Like, I know they're planning on announcing it over there, but they are your children, Joanne. Mom then starts telling her that she feels like she's not being respected.
You know what, Joanne? I feel like I don't know you for the last 2 years.
I don't understand who this new Joanne is. And she's like, you used to tell me everything. You would share things with me all the time. And this is when Joanne gets more into detail as to why her mom and her have an extremely close relationship. Joanne says that about 15 years ago, her doctor found an aneurysm on her, and she had to go through extensive tests where they found more than just one. It was so bad to the point that they actually had to do an open heart surgery.
After the surgery, the doctor told me that I would have died in 2 weeks had that surgery not have been done.
Now she takes life as like, you know, you gotta enjoy every single moment. You gotta enjoy this. You gotta live through it. You know, the whole like YOLO thing, which is understandable, you know, but you can also be respectful to your kids and you can still enjoy life to the fullest while still making responsible decisions. Now, since the cat is out of the bag, Mom wants to know if she's moving over to Ireland.
Well, I plan on being in Ireland for a month and then coming home for 2 weeks.
I was happy to see that she actually did tell her mom that she is moving over. And then they asked her, well, what about the kids? Are you gonna take the kids over with you and then bring them the 2 weeks that you come? And she tells them that unfortunately she can't do that because she shares custody with the kid's dad. So of course she's gonna have to be, you know, coming back and forth. They also asked her, what is she going to do if the kids don't like him?
If the boys
don't like him, you won't do it?
No, of course not. They're my kids. Like, I'm not gonna do that.
I don't necessarily believe that she's not going to move if the kids don't like Sean. I think she's gonna try to like convince them and stuff like that, because even in the last episode she had said that if the kids don't like them, she's just not going to put them in an uncomfortable situation. You already put them in an uncomfortable situation by not disclosing information that is incredibly important to them. You're about to alter their lives. I don't believe that you wouldn't put them last again. And now we're moving on to Josh and Lily. They're on their way to have lunch with her sister. It turns out that Juan can speak English and Josh is hoping to make a good first impression. They practice his Chinese for a quick second and then Josh asks,
when Lily came to USA, were you nervous at all?
Joanne shares that they were really worried about her, and not only that, it's also the fact that Lily is a hopeless romantic.
担心被骗的。对我们，其实我们大家都觉得你是喜欢追求浪漫的嘛。
Lily says that even though this is true, she is not an idiot.
做事情可能会就是比较冲动。
Look, barriers are meant to be broken, and at times traditions can be outdated. While it is not normal to be impulsive in Chinese culture, I don't think impulsiveness belongs to a specific culture. I think it's just a human trait. Then Lily shares that her family is worried because when she was 18, an older woman introduced her to this guy and she fell head over heels for him. So she married him right away. However, their marriage quickly fell apart because this man was leaving every single night and she was forced into ending the marriage. Her sister also asked him what he does for a living, and when he shares that he used to work but now he can't because of the visa process.
Now you can't work. My sister will earn money herself.
She questions what he does to relieve Lily, which is very important. He tells her that he cooks, he cleans, he also helps with any electrical stuff, and anything that she needs around the house, he does for her, and even for the business. I personally do think that love is enough in this situation. Lily knows that he loves her and she's okay with him not having a job and helping her with things that she might need. And that's all we get for them. For Stotler and Dempsey, we didn't really get much. They are off to the campsite.
This is just another day to her.
I love how Dempsey is the alpha male in this situation. Dempsey realizes that she doesn't know how to turn on the heater, and if she doesn't turn it on tonight, it would run out and they would die of cold. She eventually figures it out and life is great, at least for now. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are about this episode. Do you guys think it was wrong of Corona to make a very distasteful, I'm gonna throw up face in regards to the shark meat? Do we think that Ingi's parents are not gonna like the fact that Corona is black? Do you guys think that Tata and James should take the money that the parents are offering to pay for their car? Let me know your thoughts. Do you guys have any complicated relationships with your parents? That's gonna be all for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. I'm sorry if I seem a little bit low energy. I just have had a very rough week. So just letting you guys know, I'm gonna try my best to make this video as energetic as possible. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're looking for ways to support the channel, you can always join my members. You can subscribe, that is completely free. And most importantly, you can like this video so you can let YouTube know that you like my content. Bye!